Teresa. Hope you're doing well today. Welcome back to my channel. Well, I've done dinner rolls before, but this time I went to Kroger yesterday and I found fresh yeast. I have never worked with fresh yeast before and I've always wanted to. So I'm writing down the recipe as I go, and I thought I would bring you along and we'll see how these rolls come out. And wish me luck. I think it's going to be fun. So let's get started. All my ingredients laid out and I have most of them measured already. But I just wanted to show you the yeast. I'm using 22 grams, and it's you have to crumble it up. See how it just crumbles. But I was so excited that I found some, so I'm going to crumble it, and I weighed it out. And I'm going to use a little bit of a rich dough recipe. So let me put my scale up. I'm going to take a fourth of a cup of warm water and a tablespoon of sugar, and then I'm just going to mix that up. You really don't have to put it in water, it will still liquefy. See how it just dissolves? I can't see. There's really not that much difference. I researched it a little bit. Some people say it gets a better flavor, and some people say they can't tell. But I've always seen it on videos, and I just always wanted to try it. And I happened to I wasn't even looking for it at Kroger, and I just happened to run into it, and I was like almost jumping up and down. I was so excited. I don't know why. It's really not that different, but I wanted to try it just to see, because I love to make bread. Okay, that looks good. So let's go to the mixer and we're going to throw everything in, and I'm going to tell you the ingredients as I go, and I'm also writing the ingredients down so I can let you know the recipe. Yeah, mix this with the milk, and it is, I forgot what it's a half a cup of milk and 1 cup of water. And I put 4 tablespoons of sugar total, because I want just a tiny bit of a sweetness on this dinner roll to go with what we're making for dinner tonight. Oh, the sugar's still in the dang measuring cup. I always start with, not always, but a lot of times I start with my liquid first for some reason. I'm not really sure why. And okay, this is my flour. I'm gonna start with 3.5 cups, and I always like to combine all-purpose flour with bread flour. Not always, but for rolls I like to. So we're gonna go ahead and throw 1 beaten egg in here. I like what eggs do to rolls. And I'm gonna throw in my flour. I'm not gonna throw it all in because we want to make sure it's easier to add some later instead of adding water. It's much easier to add flour to make your dough the perfect consistency. Oh, and I also have to add salt. I'm gonna add 1.5 teaspoons of salt. So I'm gonna leave a little bit out. Let's add the salt. And this might make more than what I was intending, but I'm going to save the other dough for like a Hot Pocket or something. I'm also going to add, you don't have to have this, but it's on my lid. This is Vital Wheat gluten. I found it just makes the bread last a little bit longer. I'm just going to add 2 teaspoons, but that's just optional. And I'm also going to add this dry malt, it's hard for me to say it, diastatic powder. I find the bread just rises better and browns a little bit better with this. I'm going to add a teaspoon of that. And we're going to start mixing. And I also have on the side 3 tablespoons of soft butter. I'm not going to use oil. I'm going to use butter for this recipe. So I think that's everything I wanted to add. You could add other ingredients if you wanted to flavor them. So let's mix this and get my spatula. I'll mix this up, and then you can see we turned it off. It's pretty sticky, but we didn't add all the flour. But now I like to mix it first before I start adding the butter. And I have a little bit extra in this container because I'm going to brush the tops of them with butter. So we're just going to add 3 tablespoons of butter. And you don't have to put the butter if you don't want to. And I always, once I add the butter, then I usually I'll let that mix in, and then I'm going to add the rest of the flour. And if I need more flour, I have some on the side. So let me mix this in, and then we'll pretty well mixed in. So we're going to add, let me see how much flour I have. This is a 1/4 of a cup. So I'm going to put almost a 1/2 cup. I'm going to save the rest and mix this and then see where we are. And I'll be back. You can see it's still a little bit, it's too sticky at the bottom for me. So I like a little bit of stickiness, but not too much. And then once I get it to the right consistency, we're going to knead it. So that was a couple more tablespoons. So let's see how this looks. Okay, it's looking pretty good. I hope you can see that. Let's maybe put it down so you can see it better. It's pretty sticky. I'm going to add it, but it's almost just right. I'm going to add 1 more tablespoon, and I think that's going to do it. So we almost used 3½ cups, but not quite. So let's see how this comes out. We want it to be a little sticky at the bottom. I find it comes out softer that way. And I already have, oh, I forgot to say, my oven, I warmed it up a little bit before I start. Sometimes I cheat that way to make the dough rise a little bit faster. And I already have my bowl ready to put my dough in. It's greased and ready. I might have to add 1 more spoon. I might end up using up the whole 3½ cups. And I did measure it accurately for this recipe, so I could give you guys the correct amount. I'm gonna add 1 little pinch. That's how I do it. I just keep adding a little at a time, because it's much easier to add a little bit at a time than you don't want it too dry. And that's my opinion. I don't know. Just a little bit more. I'm going to show you here's the bowl. Look, that's all I have left in here. Just a little bit. So that looks about right. So I'm going to turn you off, and then I'm going to knead it for about 4 minutes, and then I'll bring it for, it's still a little bit sticky, you can see, and I should add a little bit more, but we're just going to go with this. And sometimes I like to just spray my hands with cooking oil spray, so I can take this out and not get it all over myself. And I already have my glass bowl ready for it to rise in. Sometimes I use metal, sometimes I use glass. So we're going to slide this over here. I'm just going to scrape this out. And once I get it a little bit greased, I might try to shape into a ball. I'm trying to get it all out of my mixer. It's pretty soft. Okay. So let's just spray a tiny bit right there. And just kind of fold it. Pinch it together. I'm just going to turn it over. It's nice and soft. Then I'm going to cover this. You could use a tea towel, or you could use plastic wrap. Oh, it looks like somebody messed up my plastic wrap. You know when you can't find the beginning? Oh my gosh. So frustrating. So I'm going to use this one. I just can't wait to see how this dough rises with this yeast. Only about like 4 cubes. And it is more expensive than dry yeast, and it's very perishable. It does not last long in the fridge, but I think you can freeze it. I only did a little research, like I said. So I'm going to put this in my oven that's a little bit warm, and probably for about an hour, but I'll let you know how long. I took my dough out. It's been 45 minutes. You can wait an hour. It's just kind of late, so I'm going to go ahead and take mine out. And it's risen really nice. It's really soft, and you can tell if you poke a hole in it and it stays, it's ready. So I learned this trick the other day. Just spray a little bit of cooking spray on your surface, and then put just a little bit of flour and spread a thin sheet around, so that way you don't put too much flour in your dough. So I'm just going to take it out of the bowl. It's really soft. Just dump it out. And just try to get some of the air out. And you're gonna work a little bit of the flour in. Squeeze it out. I'm gonna try to make it just a little bit more flour. And you can weigh the amount when you separate it, but I'm not gonna bother really. If I have some left over, I'm gonna do something else with it. But this is, let's see how big this one is. I'm just gonna roll it. And here's my pan. I only wanna make a small amount, and I buttered it with real butter. And I'm just gonna shape this into a ball, because I'm gonna let it rise again. And I'm not the best at shaping this, but I just roll it around in my hand and try to get the bottom closed. And you want to get rid of the bubbles. And just, I like to place them a little bit closer in the pan. I don't want to make them too big. Let me just make this smaller. Try to get them the same size. And so this dough is really soft. And it's a little sticky. Yep. So just roll it around. And I'm also gonna, once these rise, I'm gonna brush them with an egg wash so they have a pretty brown top, hopefully. It looks about the same size. I'm gonna put them pretty close together. I might should have used a bigger pan, but we'll see how they turn out. See, these aren't gonna be, I think this one's a little bit too small. And shape into a ball best I can. Kind of in a hurry. I hate when I wait late to make a video and then I get tired. So I'm just gonna roll it around a little bit and just put it, see, I got them pretty close together. You don't have to put them that close together, but that's how I'm gonna, and they're not totally exactly the same size. I should be weighing it, but that's okay. So I'm gonna fill up this pan and then I'll bring you back. My pan, I got them pretty close to the same size. And this is all I have left over actually. So that's 9 rolls and it came out just right. So I'm gonna spray these a little spray so they don't stick to the plastic. And I'll put them back inside my warm oven. Hopefully they won't take but about 20 to 30 minutes. And then we'll brush them with an egg wash. To clean it, just take your scraper and just scrape all the stickiness off. And then you can wash it with soap and water. So I just wanted to show you that. I find it easier just to get the, because I don't like to get the flour in my sponge when I clean it. Oops, sorry about that. That was the wrong angle. I just wanted to show you, I put a pan right there of hot water so I could get some steam in there so I can rise a little faster. So I think I'm going to go ahead and turn my oven on and they'll rise a little bit more. I think I'm going to turn it to 375. Oh, first I gotta do the egg wash. There they are. So I'm gonna just get a little, I have a beaten egg with a tablespoon of water. I'm just gonna lightly brush them. You have to do it gently because they're a little bit fragile. And I have my oven turning on. And when they come out, I'm gonna brush them with butter. And I put them in this pan because I wanted to limit the size. I didn't want them to get really huge. Yeah, they're really soft. So I think they're going to be really good. Okay. You could put sesame seeds on them if you wanted, or different things. So I'm going to put them back in the oven, and then we'll see what they look like. The rolls will bake for about 20 minutes. And I forgot to say that I left the steam pan in there. But we're going to check the temperature. And this thermometer cuts off. Sometimes you have to keep turning it back on. But it should reach 200 degrees. And that means it's ready. And I think we're there. Yep. So now I'm going to brush them with butter. And I like to use salted butter when I brush the bread. And I just have a little bit here. But it makes the, you can hear the steam makes the tops a little crusty. And then I soften it up with just a little butter. And we'll have to eat these tomorrow because I waited too late. We already ate supper, so we didn't have the rolls to go with them because I waited too late to make them. And once I do this, and I'll let it cool just a little while in the pan, then I'm going to put them on a cooling rack. And then we'll cut one open. If I can wait that long, it might be a little warm when I cut it open, but we'll be back. Oh, here they are. I just wanted to show you how nice and fluffy. They're still pretty warm. How pretty these are. They're just beautiful. So, oh, I forgot to say the equivalent for the yeast I use would be a tablespoon. They're just so pretty. So we'll do a taste test when they cool off a little bit more. Beautiful rolls. So that yeast worked out well. They're just nice. They're still warm. I can break it with my hand. Nice and fluffy. I'll put just a little butter. I really tasted it. I cheated and I kind of tasted one already, but you can eat these for dinner rolls or you can make them for breakfast. Get a little bit more butter. Let's see. They're just so good. And just the right balance of sugar and salt. So, it's really late here. I hope you enjoy this recipe. Sorry I can't chew. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and come back and see me another day. Bye.
Bye.